So we talked about transitions earlier, transitioning in your home from one activity to the next. And if your child isn't listening, they don't want to clean up their toy to go to dinner. What about when your child is playing outside of the home and you want them to move somewhere else? So say you're at the park and you are ready to go. You got to get in the car, go home for nap time. Your child doesn't want to leave the park, right? You know that as soon as you tell your child it's time to go, they're going to scream. You're going to have to carry them like a lawnmower all the way to the car. They're going to be hitting you. Nobody wants to do that, right? So how do we prevent that from happening? Transitions are hard. Being consistent with your transition routine is key. Children like to know what's happening next. Remember when we were talking about in the house how kids are involved in something? The same thing happens outside the house in a high desired area like the park. So this is where you want to have that 10-minute warning come into play. Walk over to your child and say, Annabelle, in 10 minutes, we are going to be going home to have lunch. What would you like to do in the next 10 minutes? Are there 2 things that you really, really wanted to do today at the park that we can make sure that we do before we leave? You asked your child what they want to do before they go. You gave them a warning. They know what is going to happen soon. And you now can help your child do those 2 things before they leave so they feel like they have completed what they want to do. Could it be the swings? Could it be going through the tunnel slide? Could it be running around? Could it be digging in the sandbox? Whatever it is, okay? 2 minutes before you go back over to your child. Remember how we give directions? You tap them on the shoulder, you look them in the eye, you say sounds. 2 more minutes, Annabelle. Did you do the 2 things you wanted to do before we leave? Let's make sure we do those, okay? All right, 2 minutes, then our phone buzzer is going to go off. When the buzzer goes off, we are going to go to the car, okay? So your child finishes up. The buzzer goes up, beep, 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 beep. Annabelle, remember? Oh, the sound, I hear it. Let's go into the car. We have our color book in the car. And then we're going to go have tuna fish sandwiches for lunch with some potato chips. Let's go. Okay, that sounds delicious, right? You have made the next steps sound really exciting. Kids like to know what's happening next. Adults know, we know in our minds, okay, we're going to go in the car. She has some things in the basket. We're going to go home. I'm going to make her lunch. But kids like to know specifics. They just think the car. They just think eat. They just think bed. They're following their routine. But what's going to be exciting today about this routine? Mommy brought her my color book. I can color a picture while I'm riding home where I'm going to get my favorite potato chips with my tuna fish sandwich. That sounds great. Maybe your child wants to hop to the car. Maybe they want to fly like a butterfly to the car, right? Make everything fun and enjoyable. This is part of being a kid. We know what's happening next, the kids don't. So spell it out. Be consistent with your transitions. Give warnings. Make sure your kids are able to finish what they want to do before you leave. Put a specific time on it. Make sure you have visual, auditory, and touching cues so that they know. And give them some fun things to do during the transition. All right, you guys. Next, we have a couple more things to talk about, and then this series will be over. I'll talk with you soon. Bye.